The eclectic approach is also called as eclecticism. This approach proposed as a reaction against the profusion of teaching methods that were popular in between 1970s and 1980s. This particular approach came as a opposition against the dogmatism which was often found in the application of these popular methods of the time. So, eclectic approach was a reaction against the popular approaches that came in between 1970s and 1980s. Eclectic approach 1970-നും 1980-നും ഇടയിൽ കടന്നു വന്ന ധാരാളമായി കടന്നു വന്ന വിവിധ തരത്തിലുള്ള ടീച്ചിങ് മെത്തേഡുകളെ വിമർശിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് കടന്നു വന്ന ഒരു ടീച്ചിങ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ടീച്ചിങ് അപ്രോച്ചാണ്. So this approach particularly was a reaction against the dogmatism that was found in the application of these popular teaching methods. 1970-നും 80-നും ഇടയ്ക്ക് കടന്നു വന്ന ഒരു കൂട്ടം ടീച്ചിങ് അപ്രോച്ചുകൾ. And the eclectic approach came as a reaction against this. According to eclectic approach, the English language teacher can choose from different methods and approaches. What all approaches and methods suitable for him can be chosen by him. And he needs to check whether it is suitable for his teaching. That's all. So the teacher can choose different methods to suit for one's teaching purposes and situations. So eclectic approach is based on that. As an English language teacher, he can choose from different approaches and methods. What all is found useful for the teacher can be used. That is what is called the eclectic approach. Now we are going to see who was the main proponent of eclectic approach. The main proponent of eclectic approach was Rivers. Rivers is the name of the personality behind this approach. And he had written a book teaching foreign language skills. And according to Rivers, an eclectic approach allows language teachers to absorb the best techniques of all what is well-known language teaching methods into his or her classroom procedure. And by using them, he can satisfy his teaching purposes. So now you must have understood what the proponent of this particular approach proposed. See, the teacher can absorb all what are the better techniques, or what is the better techniques available in different teaching methods, and he can bring those approaches, those pieces of approaches into classroom procedures. And by using this collaboration, he can make the class English language teaching more effective. Rivers pointed out why it was necessary. He said this eclectic approach is necessary because teachers have to face different difficulties in their day-to-day teaching experiences. So, sticking out a particular method will not satisfy all his needs. ഒരു ക്ലാസ് റൂമിൽ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് പഠിപ്പിക്കുന്ന അധ്യാപകന് ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ മെത്തേഡോ അപ്രോച്ചിൽ മാത്രം ഉറച്ചു നിന്നാൽ ഒരിക്കലും വ്യത്യസ്തമായ തൻ്റെ ലക്ഷ്യങ്ങൾ നിറവേറ്റുവാൻ പറ്റില്ല. That is what is pointed out by Reverse. There was a major criticism on eclecticism. What was it? It does not offer any guidance on what basis and by what principles aspects of different methods can be selected and combined. There was certain criticism against eclectic approach. What was that? These critics said that this particular approach does not offer any guidance on what basis and by what principles aspects of different methods can be selected and combined. ഈ ഇക്ലക്റ്റിക് അപ്രോച്ചിന് എതിരെയുള്ള ഒരു വിമർശനമായിരുന്നു ഈ ഒരു അപ്രോച്ച് പ്രപ്പോസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഏതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലായിരിക്കണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഏതെല്ലാം തത്വങ്ങളുടെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലായിരിക്കണം, ഏതെല്ലാം രീതികൾ ഉപയോഗിച്ചായിരിക്കണം പല ടീച്ചിങ് മെത്തേഡ്സിൽ നിന്നും, പല ടീച്ചിങ് അപ്രോച്ചുകളിൽ നിന്നും കാര്യങ്ങൾ കടമെടുക്കേണ്ടത്. So what combination is to be made was not exactly clarified in eclecticism. That was a criticism against eclecticism. So this was an introduction. What I said was an introduction about eclecticism or eclectic approach. And now we are going to see what is the eclectic method. Eclectic approach is composed of material gathered from various systems, doctrines, or sources. Eclectic method simply utilizes the best of all educational models, tailoring that mixture to the individual child in order to best meet his needs. Borrowing from textbooks, library books, workbooks, manipulatives, online courses, games, projects. Eclectic method is a hodgepodge of homeschooling systems. You may be now very much familiar to homeschooling. So this eclectic approach and what is proposed in the eclectic approach is very similar or the foundation of homeschooling systems. So eclectic approach is composed of all and different materials gathered from different places. For example, from various systems, from various doctrines or sources. And this particular method simply utilizes the best of all educational models by tailoring that mixture to the individual child in order to best meet his needs. The teacher who makes use of this method can borrow from different textbooks, books in the library, workbooks, and different manipulatives, online courses, games, and projects all together, and can make his teaching or her teaching more effective. There are various reasons why eclectic method is suitable for learners. First of all, researchers in the field of special education recommend a curriculum tailored to the individual child needs and abilities. Then, this method is flexible. Third, maximizes child's passions for learning. Then, this method accommodates child's learning styles. Hello, Praveen. First of all, researchers in the field of special education recommend a curriculum tailored to the individual child's needs and abilities. Then this approach is a flexible one. Third, maximizes child's passions for learning. This approach is suitable for accommodating child's learning style. Then it facilitates acceleration for the child's gifts. And finally, it accommodates disabilities. You may be familiar with special education. So, researchers in the special education field, they recommend a curriculum tailored to the individual child's needs and abilities. So, this is a very good approach to satisfy individual child's needs and abilities. ഒരു പഠിതാവിൻ്റെ ഒരു വിദ്യാർത്ഥിയുടെ അവൻ്റെ തനതായ കഴിവുകളും അതുപോലെ തനതായ ആവശ്യങ്ങളും നിറവേറ്റുവാൻ ഏറ്റവും നല്ല ഒരു ടീച്ചിങ് അപ്രോച്ചാണ് ഇക്ലറ്റിക് അപ്രോച്ച്. Then this is a very flexible approach. There is no rigid rules or rigid principles inside it, so it's very flexible. Then the third, it maximizes a child's passions for learning. According to this approach is very suitable for maximizing child's passions for learning. വിദ്യാർത്ഥി വിദ്യാർത്ഥിക്ക് തൻ്റെ പഠനത്തിലുള്ള ആ ഒരു പാഷൻ വളരെ വർദ്ധിപ്പിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഈ അപ്രോച്ച് വളരെ സ്യൂട്ടബിൾ ആണ്. Then it accommodates child's learning style. See, there are children with different learning style, and this approach is suitable to accommodate all the children with different learning styles. So the eclectic approach is the common label given to a teacher's use of techniques and activities from a range of language teaching approaches and methodologies. The teacher decides what methodology or approach to be used depending on the aims of the lesson and the learners in the group. Almost all modern course books have a mixture of approaches and methodologies. ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒരു പ്രത്യേക ടീച്ചിങ് മെത്തേഡോ അപ്രോച്ചോ ഉപയോഗിക്കാതെ വിവിധ തരത്തിലുള്ള ടീച്ചിങ് മെത്തേഡുകൾ അപ്രോച്ചുകൾ ബ്ലെൻഡ് ചെയ്ത് ഉപയോഗിച്ചാൽ ക്ലാസ് റൂമിന് സ്യൂട്ടബിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള രീതിയിൽ ഉപയോഗിച്ചാൽ അവിടെ ശരിക്കും teaching and learning can be successfully executed within the classroom. Then the next advantage is interest. Teachers need to use different techniques to hold the learner's attention. See, to get the attention of the students, teacher cannot stick on a particular technique. He has to move around. He has to move around different methods and techniques within the class. ക്ലാസ് റൂമിൽ കുട്ടികളുടെ ശ്രദ്ധ കിട്ടണമെങ്കിൽ പല രീതിയിലും ശൈലിയിലുമുള്ള അധ്യാപനം നടത്തിയേ മതിയാകുള്ളൂ. So the other advantage is flexibility. So the teacher can be flexible. So the teaching can be very flexible. Awareness of a range of available techniques will help teachers exploit materials better and manage unexpected situations. Inevitability informed teaching is bound to be eclectic. See, this eclectic is elastic, or its nature is very flexible. Teacher can be aware of by using this method or by using different multiple methods or blend of it. The teacher can be very much aware of a range of techniques that will suit for his classroom. In his or her classroom, the teacher has to face unexpected situations. So he has to be well versed, well trained to face these situations. So you know and you practice all these methods together, that will prepare you better to manage the unexpected situations. This is all about eclectic approach. Hope that all of you understood what is eclectic approach and what are all its characteristics, advantages, such like. I will come with another video in another day. Until then, goodbye.